Welcome once again to Have We Picked the Winners, a special program where we survey this year's field of Academy Award nominees and say who we think deserves to win. I'm Roger Ebert, and I don't have a ballot, but my co-host, Peter Bogdanovich, will not be pretending because you're a member of the Academy and you do have a ballot.
Yes, and I'm not even supposed to be here because the Academy tells us rather strictly every year that we're not supposed to reveal or discuss even how we voted.
Oh, nobody in Hollywood ever discusses how they're going to vote.
No, of course not.
Never.
Here,
Well, I
get
think we'll
through it
have
here.
some fun.
Okay.
Let's move on to the first category, which is Best Actor. And the nominees are Russell Crowe as a tobacco industry scientist who reveals deadly findings in The Insider. Richard Farnsworth as an old man who travels 300 miles by lawnmower to reconcile with his dying brother in The Straight Story. Sean Penn as the world's second greatest jazz guitarist in Sweet and Lowdown. Kevin Spacey as a stir-crazy suburbanite in American Beauty. And Denzel Washington as a middleweight boxer framed for murder in The Hurricane. Okay, those are the nominees, and I have here your sealed envelope, which I have not read, and I find that you would vote for Denzel Washington in The Hurricane.
Yes, sir, I did. And the reason of all the nominated performances, they're all absolutely first-rate. I chose Denzel Washington, Norman Jewison's The Hurricane, not only because of the superbly understated quality of his work, but also because of the extraordinary range required to pull off this role. I mean, playing a real-life person, the prizefighter Reuben Hurricane Carter, meant that Denzel had to make himself totally believable as a middleweight boxer.
I've been locked up for 30 years.
I admired this performance so much, and I admired this film so much, and I was so angry at people who began to nitpick about its factual accuracy because you don't go to the movies to find out the facts. You go to books or newspapers, magazine articles.
Absolutely. Well, what did you say?
Well, he was probably my second choice. In fact, I went back and forth and see who I voted for.
Okay, all right. Here we go. Sean Penn in Sweet and Lowdown.
That's right, Sean Penn, and like the old actor said, and who was it who said that? Dying is easy, it's comedy that's hard.
Edmund Gwenn.
Edmund Gwenn. It's not the kind of performance that gets a lot of serious attention because it's sweet and goofy and quirky rather than serious and profound. But Sean Penn walks such a delicate tightrope in this movie between the man who is an angel when he's playing the guitar and then he turns into a completely socially inept misfit when he's not playing the guitar.
You were stealing that box.
No.
Oh, yes, you were. I saw you. Why?
I don't know.
What a focused actor. This guy disappears into this role and makes it into a really goofy original.
Well, I thought he was extraordinary also, and just learning to play the guitar as convincingly as he did, because there were a number of shots where he's playing the guitar and the camera pans up to him. I know that they put it in later, but still he had to finger it right, and just that alone is exhausting, I would think. And shall we go on to the next category? Yeah. The nominees for Best Supporting Actress are Toni Collette as the concerned mother in The Sixth Sense, Angelina Jolie as the severely self-destructive patient in Girl, Interrupted, Catherine Keener as the wildly unpredictable femme fatale in Being John Malkovich, Samantha Morton as the mute and sensitive young woman in Sweet and Lowdown, and Chloe Sevigny as the confused but loving girl who is first duped, then smitten in Boys Don't Cry. Well, let's see what you picked, Roger.
Okay.
Best Supporting Actress is Chloe Sevigny in Boys Don't Cry.
You know, I think I started marking my ballot in this category when I saw the movie last September at the Toronto Film Festival because it made such an impression on me. And with Chloe Sevigny, here is a performance that does exactly what's required in a very tricky role. Of course, the focus in Boys Don't Cry is on Hilary Swank, who plays a girl who decides to live as a boy. But if that performance is going to work, then we have to be able to see her through the eyes of a girl who actually relates to her as a boy, and Sevigny does a quiet, nuanced, convincing job of creating the small-town girl who's flattered by this newcomer named Brandon, who knows how to treat a girl.
Having fun? Yeah.
And the subtle, gentle, understated way she makes that transition helps to set the sad and elegiac tone for the whole movie. And I should open your envelope because I intuit that it isn't going to say Chloe Sevigny. Am I right about that?
I think you are.
Okay, let's see. You would vote for Catherine Keener in one of my best film of the year. My #1 pick was Being John Malkovich.
Well, this was probably the most difficult category for me because of the complexity of all the roles. the nominated actresses had to play. Each of them did truly wonderful work. I admit, I chose Catherine Keener, however, not only for the pungent, unsentimental, quicksilver performance she gives in Being John Malkovich, but also because for a number of years now, I have felt that Kathy Keener is one of our finest and most underrated actresses.
Do you have any idea what it's like to have two people look at you with total lust and devotion through the same pair of eyes?
Miss Keener is a true virtuoso. I think she can do anything.
You know, I've admired her for a long time. I loved her in Your Friends and Neighbors, the new Labute film, and I loved her in this too. Of course, Being John Malkovich is a great film.
Where now we look at the nominees for Best Supporting Actor. They are Michael Caine as a maverick doctor at an orphanage in The Cider House Rules, Tom Cruise as a TV macho man with a vicious message in Magnolia, Michael Clark Duncan as a convict possessed of supernatural powers in The Green Mile, Jude Law as a spoiled yet very attractive rich kid in The Talented Mr. Ripley, and Haley Joel Osment as a child tormented by his ability to see the dead in The Sixth Sense.
And the
winner is Michael Caine in The Cider House Rules.
Absolutely, and I think of all the nominees, he did the best job of creating a character who not only contributed to the movie, but he made the movie, almost held it together. In my opinion, The Cider House Rules is not a very good film, even though I know it has 7 nominations. Yet I felt enormous sympathy with Michael Caine's character as the gentle and wise and quietly self-destructive doctor who tries to save people but cannot save himself.
The board is going to replace me.
It's the kind of supporting role where you think to yourself, there's the movie, just focus on that character and follow him, and the rest of the story will take care of itself.
Well, he was extraordinary, it's true. And doing that Maine accent and getting rid of his own accent and all that. Well, Michael Caine's one of the best actors around, isn't he?
But let's see if you agree, because I hope you agree with me sooner or later. I'll be crushed. Haley Joel Osment in The Sixth Sense is your vote.
Once again, there's an abundance of riches in this category, and it was with some difficulty that I settled on Haley Joel Osment. But it's rare indeed to see such a demanding, complex role played with such riveting intensity.
It's them.
You know, I saw this movie a second time at the Calcutta Film Festival because the director, is from India.
Yes.
And so it was with subtitles. The audience was mesmerized. I mean, it's a very difficult film to follow in terms of what it turns out to be about, and it really does grab people. I think that's why it was so successful.
I
he
agree.
is good, and Bruce Willis, I think, should get some of the credit in the Best Actress category. And the nominees are Annette Bening as a suburban realtor who's astonished by her husband's bizarre behavior in American Beauty, Janet McTeer as a single mom who hits the road every time things don't work out in Tumbleweeds, Julianne Moore as a woman who sacrifices romance to a higher power in The End of the Affair, Meryl Streep as a determined violin teacher of inner-city students in Music of the Heart, and Hilary Swank as the girl who lives as a boy in Boys Don't Cry. Okay, those are the nominees, and now this envelope, which was guarded by our local currency exchange, has your vote in it, and you would vote for Julianne Moore in The End of the Affair.
Yeah, that was another very difficult choice between apples and oranges. How do you compare among the wide range of characters portrayed, including a hysterical suburban housewife, a dedicated violin teacher, a young woman pretending to be a young man? Maybe I'm a sucker for a sad love story and therefore picked Julianne Moore in The End of the Affair.
You see, Morris, never make a promise. You may have to keep it.
This is Julianne Moore's second Oscar nomination, the other being for her supporting role in 1997's Boogie Nights. Here, in The End of the Affair, she has outdone herself with a beautiful and memorable performance of great complexity done with the utmost simplicity. I was very moved by this picture.
I didn't like the film as much as you did, but I agree with you that she is the best thing in it. I did not mark my ballot for Julianne Moore, though.
Well, I can tell that. All right, here we go. Roger said Hilary Swank in Boys Don't Cry.
Yeah, I picked both actresses in Boys Don't Cry. Once again, I'm choosing from the same film because I think that Boys Don't Cry provided one of the most difficult challenges of the year for its cast. They looked for 3 years trying to find somebody who could convincingly be a girl who became a boy as far as everyone was concerned. It's not enough that she convinces us people would accept her as a young man. We also have to believe that she believes herself in that role.
I don't care. I'm not as young and I am a mess. So.
Hilary Swank is able to show us this character doing things for the first time and yet acting out of a deep and lifelong nature. She does this because it feels right to her.
Yes, there's kind of a dreamy quality about the performance too, like she's not quite, centered in reality, which of course she isn't. The nominees for Best Picture are Sam Mendes' suburban social and sex satire American Beauty, written by Alan Ball; Lasse Hallström's period drama The Young Man's Growth to Manhood, The Cider House Rules, adapted by John Irving from his own novel; Frank Darabont's mystical prison drama The Green Mile, adapted by Darabont from Stephen King's novel; Michael Mann's drama of television and industry politics The Insider, co-written with Eric Roth; and the supernatural drama The Sixth Sense, written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. And the winner is...
This is the big one.
Da-da-da-da, American Beauty.
American Beauty. I think this is pretty clearly the best of the 5 nominated films, although I wish the Academy voters hadn't played it so safe with this list. I wish that in addition to American Beauty, the nominees also included Being John Malkovich, Magnolia, Three Kings, and Boys Don't Cry. And then the voters would be faced with a real choice and a real challenge.
Smile, you're at Mr. Smiley's. Would you like to try our new beef and cheese pot pie on a stick? Just $1.99 for a limited time only?
The more you think about American Beauty, the more it has to say about the dead end of materialism, and it's my Best Picture choice for all of those reasons, Peter.
Well, they're all very good reasons, and
Thank you.
they're hard to argue with. In fact, I'm not going to argue with them.
So, you agree with me?
Well, I agree with you about the picture. You have to see if I chose it.
I hope this is our last chance to agree.
I know.
The Sixth Sense. Okay, we disagreed on every film on this show,
Well,
every category.
all the nominees this year have very strong attributes, and my choice of The Sixth Sense was at least partially determined because of this subject matter. The direction and the script are superbly realized with the kind of self-assurance usually associated with veteran filmmakers. But the gifted Mr. Shyamalan is a newcomer, one from whom I feel we'll be hearing a lot.
Grandma comes to visit me sometimes.
The Sixth Sense was released way back in August and is still remembered by the Academy, helps to prove its staying power.
Also, it was an audacious project. I mean, the fact that this was the second or third highest grossing picture of the year is all the more amazing when you realize how subtly constructed it is and how reluctantly and mysteriously it reveals its real subject matter right at the end. I had to go see the picture a second time just to understand everything that was happening. Peter, I really want to thank you for being here. I've admired your work for years and years, and it was a real pleasure to find our way through the Academy maze,
Well,
you and I together.
Thank you, Roger. I've enjoyed it, and I've admired you for years, so
Thanks a lot.
thank you.